Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our relatively short episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse, episode 176. Loose Ends. I'm gonna go around and have my players introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Get of Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a third of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a rune of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the Pax had gotten to Kansas City and spoke to Zeb's sister Constance. She had strange dreams about skinning her brother, and a Ronin was in town. The Ronin was Natalie Davis, a former friend of Dimitri, who had escaped the fall of Winterfang with several other kin. She was a lost cub and late to the change. Trying to investigate, the Pax went up to the Sept several miles away to find out things and learned about a black spiral dancer taking kin. Coming back down into town, it seems that Natalie knew about the spiral as well, and had bombed the spiral's hideouts while the Pax were inside, seeing the horrors of this black spiral Theurge attempting to create new Fomori. The Pax had left, and are suspicious of Natalie, and now head to the warehouse to speak to her. As you have returned to the warehouse, Dimitri, you see Natalie just working through some stuff as she looks up, notices you and waves. Then she notices the soot on some of you, and you see the concern on her face.
Dimitri's gonna kind of give a wave back, kind of signaling like everything's okay. And he's going to kind of look over to everybody else and say, I know we talked about confronting her, but it's something still bothering me, we don't understand the whole picture, or we could still do more to understand what's going on.
I don't think you're wrong. One of the things my sister told me about was having a dream about skinning me and taking my pelt forced into her mind. It's why I'm partially suspicious of what Natalie's been doing here, and having the silver knife in your possession didn't help that. But let's just go, and if we confront anything, confront her on the fact that clearly she had a lead and didn't frickin' share it. And then there we were.
Dimitri will nod and say we can do that at least.
We won't, right, and I don't think we just jerk the curtain back and be like, are you of the worm? That's not going to get us anywhere very quickly. So, let's head on in.
You head on over as Natalie looks you guys over and is like, what happened? What's wrong?
You tell me. Some of your homemade equipment here went off at just the right time.
Jesus. Are you guys okay?
We got her.
Good.
I thought you said you didn't have a lead.
I didn't, but I did say that she tended to pick up people during a riot. There was a riot, and it was close enough for me to get there, and I was able to catch eyes on her. And I was able to track her back to her place. And I did some digging quickly on the internet and saw that some surveyors were concerned about potential sinkholes, which made me think that, she had built something between there and somewhere else. And then I looked again and saw that 3 homes were held by shell companies in the area. Looked into those shell companies, followed the chain up real quick, and found that they were all owned by the same shell company. Took a couple hours, figured that out, put bombs on 2 of them, and then figured that would drive her to the last house where I could put the majority of my explosives so that I could tank the whole thing.
Can I do a perception empathy check or something to see if this is rehearsed or if this is maybe what actually happened? If she's BSing?
You sure can. Perception empathy. Her concern is genuine, and this doesn't seem super rehearsed at all. She's fumbling to try and explain everything, which is why she was jumping from topic to topic and her line of reasoning.
Have you been tracking how many kinfolk are missing currently?
I got a general idea, but because I'm not part of the Sept, I don't have hard, fast numbers.
That's something we intend to find out to see if there were any members of the family that were in those torture chambers.
Makes sense. Better than most Garu.
I mean, is this it for you now? Was there another quest, another thing to go after?
I've been going and just checking out large groupings of kinfolk. Someone's got to look out for them.
And who's to look out for you?
Me, the bombs.
That's a lonely life.
I'm gonna be honest, I could use some loneliness. I miss you, Dim. Really do. And I'd love to run with you. But I don't want to drag you down either. But I've seen how kinfolk are treated. I thought everything was like Winterfang. When I went to the Sentinel, I was wrong.
No, everywhere isn't like Winterfang, but I still think you're doing a lot of good, but wolves aren't meant to run alone.
Maybe, but I don't think I can run with the nation. It's not just because of Winterfang. I'm sorry, I tried to give that comfort. It was because, do you ever go somewhere and all eyes on you make you feel like a broodmare when you're a second-class citizen? To pop out warriors? To watch a man cry because he was treated like a stud at a 4-H fair?
I understand.
We're going to be here for a few more days. If you two want to go and have a hunt, just run around. Not against it. I was a kinfolk once. I empathize completely. And certainly have some thoughts about how I took care of my own family. We'll be around and link up with you if we find out more about the kin.
Much obliged. So, what do you say? She picks up a gun, cocks it a little bit. Hunt for the old time's sake? This one didn't even have silver in it. Plenty of deer around.
Sure. Let's go, for old time's sake.
Alright. Do you want to ride in your human skin, or do you want to be a good boy and ride in the back? As she presses a button and her SUV unlocks and the little lights blink.
I think I'll ride in the human skin.
Alright. Sounds like good times, Dim. She grabs your head again and ruffles up your hair like old times.
Yeah, and when they get to the hunting ground, he'll go into his wolf form.
Alright.
Or a wolf shape.
Can you get me a perception primal urge, please? Diff 6. Or actually, Diff 4.
Alright. And trying to remember, but I think I've leveled that up since the last time Dim went with her.
Excellent.
At least by 1 point.
Woo.
Oh, hot diggity dog. All 6 successes.
All 6 successes. As you find prey, you launch it out just in the right moment. She squeezes the trigger and gets a good body shot as its legs weaken and goes down.
Riley, okay, I typed this. Riley, I mean, I would see if you can get her to change to see if the pelt looks familiar.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway. So she comes over, she brings out the knife. You ready? Do you know how to gut these things, Dim?
I guess I haven't really been doing a lot of human hunting. More used to just doing it wolf style.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm still more comfortable on 2 legs myself. Hence all the guns. I don't really pull out the big 9-footer in case I'm desperate, and even then, I gotta be really desperate.
Well, do you change into lupus very often?
Not really.
I mean, why not mix it up a little bit?
Well, gotta be efficient, right? I mean, you came to this hunt in your lupus form, right? Because that was the best way we hunted together, like old time's sake.
Alright, how about this? Alright, as Dimitri's gonna say, alright, you know what? Let's do it differently then. I'll give the shooting a shot, and you can try to bring out the prey.
You know what? Okay, sure. As she hands you the rifle.
Alright, Dimitri's gonna take it. No dots in firearms, so this is gonna be interesting.
Fantastic. As she has shifted into Krynos first, you see her. She looks like she's got both Geta Fenris and Fianna heritage based on the pattern of her fur. And at least somewhat equal blend. No, not a botch as she tries, not doing great. And then finally gets back down to lupus. Same sort of thing. Kind of a blend of Fianna and Geta Fenris based on the highlights of those tribes and those who get regular blessings from Great Fenris and from Stag.
And Dimitri is gonna try to kind of tease, kind of play it off jokingly as he says, "How long ago did you have your first change again?"
Couple of wolf kind of grunts.
I'm teasing.
So she'll do the same roll, same diff. She does really well. She chases out another deer. Dimitri, dexterity, firearms. Diff 6. Well, diff 7 because, still 2 successes.
Oh, there we go.
As you squeeze off a shot and you get the deer, pretty good clean hit. Takes a couple staggered bits. She has to actually chase it down a little bit and get a good bite on the haunch before it finally collapses. Shifts into her Hamid form and then goes back to pick up her clothes because nothing is bound to her. And she goes, "That is the other reason."
Yeah, I can understand that. And Dimitri will hand the rifle back, and he's gonna say, "Would you believe me if I said that was the first time I've ever fired a gun?"
You're a natural. Or you just been sticking around with the best so long, you picked up a few things without even having to pick up a gun.
Maybe a mix of both.
She said a good shot, William. Well, we got 2 whole deer, so let's do the basic trimmings. Let's get them in the truck, and then we can donate these to some of the kinfolk so that they have full fridges for a while.
All right, let's do it.
Meanwhile, back in Kansas City, what's everyone else doing?
Zeb will contact his sister to get a lead for pictures of those that are missing.
And she sends them over after about 2 hours.
And Zeb will run them by Kyle.
As Kyle starts flipping through, as he picks out several of them that he did recognize. One of them he's unsure of because some of the facial features are similar, but it's hard to map one-to-one as their jaw and teeth were missing, as well as all the hair.
Gotcha.
So for the most part, we know where all of the kinfolk disappeared to.
Well, at least some.
Do you think that there could be 2 things happening around here? It's possible, but unlikely, maybe.
I mean, we've seen disturbances all over the place, right? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there were a whole bunch of things that were happening here. Just as the other part of why my sister called me here was that if it's the good doctor or somebody else that's forcing those visions, fine. If those types of visions are being forced on the other kinfolk, I don't want to put it on her to have to ask a super awkward question to other kin in the city like, "Hey, have you had dreams about killing your brother and taking his skin?" I'll be interested to find out what Dimitri has to say when he gets back to us. Do we want to go back to the Sept and provide them the information they have, what we have so far? Anywhere else we think we should look? Because the thing I can think of is once Howls-In-Memory comes back, they can maybe stand vigil in my sister's dream and see if we can find out what's doing this to her. And that might be the next target.
In lieu of these riots, I think it's best to keep the Sept updated as best as possible, so I think we should head back.
I mean, I can follow up with the Valkenburg Foundation.
That's an excellent idea. Please do, specifically about this kin and any of the others, I guess. But really, Natalie Davis is the one I want to know more about.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to persuade her anytime soon to rejoin the family, even though this Sept, among others, would probably welcome another warrior. But at least to know she's not a threat to the people that are here.
Yeah. Keegan, do I know of any contact to reach out for at the Valkenburg Foundation, or do I have to go through?
You have to go through the Glasswalkers because it's a Glasswalker. It's not a Glasswalker. The location's a Glasswalker secret, but the organization is somewhat known. So you have to phone a friend of a friend of a friend, basically.
Gotcha. That's what I was trying to figure out. So I'll go ahead and reach out to Steel Mountain.
Okay.
Or the remains of Steel Mountain, and ask if there's any way to get into contact with them.
Okay. They said they'll call around. Could you roll me just your contacts, please?
1 dot. Standard diff?
Yep. Okay, so it'll take probably 2 months because gotta ask friends, get approvals through the chain of command of Glasswalkers, things like that. Especially because this was there as an attempt to cure mental illness in Guru, or keep alive those who had mental illnesses who were too severely gone, which in some ways violated the litany.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Would I be able to expedite that slightly by also reaching out to the Denver Glasswalkers to get like double the contacts?
that's the former
No.
Steel Mountain.
Sorry, not Denver. What was the one that we went to up
Cleveland?
north? I think maybe.
Or, no, it was Detroit. Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, for when I got the apple seeds.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah. So can I reach out to Detroit and work that angle as well?
Yeah, we'll drop that down to 1 month still.
Okay.
Because it was the same roll.
Yeah, I'm mostly just trying to make sure that the timeline
Sure.
doesn't get too far ahead versus everyone else.
Well, I mean, it just means you'll get a call back, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because shit just takes time.
Yeah.
She's been to the Sentinel and the Green. Let's send spirits to both. And
Agreed.
given that our very own Two-Hearts is a member of the Great Get of Fenris.
Not the green, the Hidden Glade.
Oh, Hidden Glade. I'm sorry. To the looking at multiple notes that mention both to Hidden Glade and the Sentinel. And given that Two-Hearts here is of the mighty Get of Fenris, they might actually take the message. So if you handle that one, I'll send one to Hidden Glade, and we'll just
Agreed.
ask about this Ronin passing through and any information they can provide.
All right. Mark will consult with Cora on a proper way to send a message to the Get.
She holds him down, taking both of his fists, going, "Stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself."
Message received.
No, she asks specifically that you summon a raven spirit
Yeah.
and that you feed it a chunk of your own flesh, not in the form of gnosis, just an actual bit of your flesh from your hand before relaying the message, and that the Get will take it based on how much pain you show on your face.
Oh. So lack of pain on my face.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Most definitely Mark will do that.
You've got to be strong.
Gotta be strong. Alright, do I gotta summon a spirit for this?
Yes, you do. And that's rituals. That is wits occult, I believe. Yeah, wits occult, and
Yeah.
it's a jaggling, so that's diff 5.
Jaggling, that's it.
It shows up quickly but neutral. The raven lands upon your hand and looks at you. Why have you called?
I need a message delivered to the Get of Fenris at the set of the Sentinel. And Mark will have his hand offered for the bite as he's explaining the situation about stolen moons and such.
Very well. We'll take as much as I can. As it leans in, I need you to roll stamina diff 9, as it is meticulously peeling back skin, flesh, and ligaments from the bone.
And this is non-transformed flesh, so I gotta be in Hamid, correct?
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
So you hold okay, but you wince real bad at one point, and the spirit goes, "Very well. Enough. I shall bring your message."
And then Mark will give a gnosis to the spirit as well to have his journey east.
And the spirit flies off. Meanwhile, Zebulon,
Yeah, we'll roll Hidden Glade, Boston. Zeb's going to use, he'll use Pigeon Spirits instead, and what he'll end up seeking is probably one of his kin nearby to take the message in, since they won't make it all the way into the Sept.
okay,
So he'll use Pigeons to pass it to a Silent Strider.
perfect. Make that roll. The pigeon spirit arrives immediately and is incredibly receptive to you. I can take a message. Yes, yes, brother.
All right, Zeb will give him 2 Gnosis to fatten himself up for the journey.
The pigeon shakes his head. No gnosis, brother. It will get worse before it gets better. It is best if I do not take from you right now.
You and your kin are very kind. I will make sure that I return to the parks here and feed them so they might be sustained. Zeb will give the question about Natalie Davis having passed to the Hidden Glade and some fears of some of the rites now being used to take wolf pelts for stolen moons, and see if his kin can find more information since she's passed to the Hidden Glade.
The spirit acknowledges, flaps its wings, and flies off at great speed.
Mark will switch to Glabro to start healing his hand.
All right, heal your hand.
Let's start heading back up toward the Sept.
Okay.
and see if Demi can catch up with us. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Keegan.
So they arrive, because this all took several hours, right? They arrive closer to sunset when you guys are done too, and they bring out you see them with 2 deer carcasses.
A successful hunt. Well done.
Yeah. I know a couple kin here, and I'm hoping that they'll pass this out to others so that some freezers are full.
What kind of deer were they, Keegan?
Whatever's here. I think that'd be whitetail.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Buck or doe?
Both were buck.
Okay. May I have the antlers, please?
Certainly. You get the 4 antlers.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, it's really good to see you, Dim. I'm going to be traveling across the country. If I see you again, I'm probably going to be heading down Louisiana area. Maybe Florida.
Okay. Yeah, if I'm down in that direction anytime soon, I'll let you know. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Yeah, for sure. Flings her arms open.
Dimitri's gonna go in for that hug.
Gives you a big pat on the back. Missed you.
Missed you too.
And it means that now, even if we're not part of the nation, you and me can do some good together. That's the important thing. How do I get in contact with you? What can I do?
William has a phone.
Oh, awesome. Here's my number. Well, that's my number right now. I usually change phones once a month, but I'll be sure to call. Does your number change all the time, William?
Not at all.
All right. Well, maybe in the future, Dim, we can get you a burner phone or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if you're gonna keep on working on cars, right? Some of them have built-in cell phones these days.
Really? Oh. Huh. I guess I'll have to move on from junker cars from 10, 20 years ago.
Well, yeah, because 10, 20 years ago, those junker cars have all the weird electronic Starship stuff in them, too.
Yeah.
You've been an unexpected ally in this, Natalie, and I thank you for this. I hope that the nation will change so much for the better that we get to see you return.
Thank you. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to drive out. Sounds like the kin are in good hands here now that the spiral's been taken care of. And you guys are doing your best to make sure people get closure.
Blessings upon you, Natalie.
And to you. Gets in her van as she goes, does a quick check on the shocks. Perfect. And she goes, some of these explosives are temperamental.
As we saw, effective, but temperamental.
Yeah.
You have more faith in those explosives than most people have in most anything.
You gotta have faith. And she gets in the car and drives off. You guys then head towards the sept to talk with the elders, but we'll find out how that all shakes out next time. Sorry for the short episode, guys, but that is life. We're going to have a good Labor Day weekend here, but that'll be like a week in the past. So until next time, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.